Warthogs and wild boars are both dangerous animals, and they're not the easiest prey to kill. Just ask the big cats what they think. Have you ever seen a warthog take it to a leopard? Today, it's all about warthogs and wild boars, so hang on to your seat. Wild boars and warthogs versus dogs and wild dogs. Wild boars are no pushovers, and this wild boar isn't afraid of these dogs. The dogs do a lot of barking, but can they bite? This next clip shows a warthog be confronted by a pack of wild dogs. It knows this and it's not sticking around, so it starts to run, but the dogs chase it. The warthog digs a trench and goes in defense mode, but even that may not be enough to fend off the attack. In this video, this dog seems to be playing around with these three boars. A couple of humans are walking along with them, so I'm guessing this is all part of the daily routine these animals enjoy. These two wild boars chase this dog around. The dog is quicker than they are, but the boars don't give up. They keep chasing the dog, hoping it will become exhausted before they do. Finally, to stay alive in the wild, an intelligent warthog employs animal survival methods against a gang of wild dogs. He must stand his ground because if he flees, the wild dogs will attack him. He must also guarantee that they do not surround him, because if they do, he will be in serious danger. The dogs rely on their incredible stamina to wear down their prey, as well as the pack's collective might to bring the prey down. Fortunately, two zebras who are eager for some action happen to be in the vicinity, and it looks like the dogs aren't inclined in engaging with the massive creatures. Warthog versus warthog. Warthogs aren't the most attractive or graceful animals in the animal kingdom. However, they stand out for their strength, intellect, and adaptability. They're not endangered unlike many of their African relatives. This is due to their exceptional ability to adapt to new dangers. Warthogs don't always get along, and the two warthogs in this video are the perfect example. They're obviously having an argument about something, but what could it be? Is it about the mud, or are they fighting over the other warthog watching them, which could possibly be a female? Warthogs have prominent warts on their bodies. The cause for these thick skin growths becomes clear during mating season. To see which is the most powerful, the boars push and ram each other with their heads and blunt upper tusks. Because the warts act as shock absorbers, they rarely hurt each other. When one of the boars decides to give up, the other boar is given the opportunity to mate with the sows. The boars then return to their solitary existence until the following mating season. A boar must impress a potential sow after fending off competition. By strutting sideways, he accomplishes this. Following the breeding, the couple goes their separate ways in search of other breeding partners. Next, these two warthogs go head to head as they clash for supremacy. Neither has the edge over the other. I guess it's just part of their daily routine. These wild boars decided to have a go at it as they slowly walk down this hill. At one point, they stop and just stay stuck together for a few seconds. I guess they're catching their breath. It all begins again after a few seconds until they reach flat land, and then they're suddenly hang around no longer fighting. The two big boys clash their tusks into one another and fight for over an hour, neither giving up on the fights. They take a breath as the fight tires them out, but although there are signs of blood, they do not quit. Wild boar attacks vehicles. You never know what to expect from any sort of pig, and this huge mama is curious about this car. At first, it tries to lift it, but when it realizes it's too heavy, it decides to put its two front legs on it just for fun. It's not interested in the other cars at all. It decides to walk to the side of the vehicle and stand on the car again. What's in that trunk? Either there is some mighty good food or something that attracts hogs. This wild boar is trying to steal this bike so it can go for a quick bike ride, but the bike seems to be locked. I'm guessing this big guy has yet to learn the art and skill of picking a lock. Next, this pig goes on a rampage in the streets of Hong Kong, and it requires a ton of police officers to neutralize the beast. They need to use riot shields and other devices such as nets to eventually capture it. I'm surprised they didn't call the Navy SEALs. It almost feels as if Godzilla has invaded the streets. This wild boar decides to steal some food from the cyclist. At first, it looks as though it may want to ride the bike, but the truth is all it wants is the food from the purple bag. Finally, this wild boar goes nuts and rams into this car. After a while, a man carrying something bangs it over the head of the boar, knocking it out instantly. Warhog versus hyenas. Hyenas, for the most part, do not even try to hunt warhogs. They'd kill a baby warhog if they had the chance, but an adult warhog is normally out of reach. But that doesn't mean hyenas don't try, because when hunger strikes, anything is possible. These hyenas are trying to kill these baby warhogs, but Mama's there to watch over them, and the hyenas are not willing to take the risk. In this next video, what looks like the beginning of a battle between this warhog and this hyena ends up being a standoff that lasts forever. The hyena wants to eat the warhog, and the warhog just wants to be left alone. But because the hyena knows it's not easy to kill a warhog, it just stands there, contemplating. This crazy warhog is not going to become food in this next fantastic wildlife encounter between these hyenas and this one lunatic warhog, as he shows these predators he is not to be trifled with by launching a couple of frontal attacks at the deadly scavengers. Finally, this battle between a clan of hyenas and a few warhogs concludes, with the youngest warhog being snatched by the hyenas. The warhogs were outnumbered, and that's what led to the kill. Warhog versus crocodile. When a crocodile jumps out of the water to startle its next victim, it usually grabs them by the throat and drags them away after a brief struggle. This time was not the case, but the circumstances were slightly different. Papa and Mama Boar were having a great time at a picnic with their aunts and uncles and all the kids when a large, cruel crocodile appeared. The babies inquired as to why the crocodile had such large teeth, to which the croc replied, "If you don't know why by now, you're in great trouble," before snapping his teeth at the first youngster it could find. Papa and Mama Bear were so taken aback by the crocodile's intrusion onto their family gathering that they jabbed him with reckless abandon until the crocodile was seeing stars. They cursed him and warned him never to show up uninvited again. When the wild boars fight, it's not all fun and games. They're tough as nails. Of course, if it were a one-on-one fight in the water, the boar would have no chance in hell of surviving. It's always exciting to see the underdog triumph occasionally. This warhog is drinking water when it gets surprised by a crocodile emerging from the water to capture it. However, the warhog is exceptionally agile and avoids the crocodile, allowing it to escape. When another crocodile tries to eat this warhog at a drinking hole, it bites the dust. The warhog gets away quickly enough to avoid being the croc's next meal. Warhog versus cheetah. When a couple of warhogs notice a few cheetahs drinking at their watering hole, what happens? This is what happens. The cheetahs are physically kicked in the buttocks. When this cheetah sees a family of warhogs, it chooses one of the younger ones to attack. It crouches to the ground and slowly advances till it gains speed. But what it doesn't expect is for the mother warhog to intercept it as it's running, causing the entire hunt for the cat to be thrown off. The warhog even pursues the cat, which flees as fast as it can. Female warhogs can have up to 8 young at a time after a 6-month gestation period, though they usually only produce 2 or 3. The young warhogs are known as piglets. Mother warhogs are gentle and protective of their offspring. Warhogs are strong little creatures who aren't easy to dispatch. This is brilliantly depicted in this next clip, in which a cheetah is hunting a baby warhog, and just as the cheetah appears to have claimed its prize, the mother warhog appears out of nowhere and rushes the cheetah, hurling it into the air. When the cheetah reaches the ground, it puts an end to the chase and flees like a scary cat. Wild boar invading shop. Wild boars are known for smelling when something's not right, and this warhog on a special mission infiltrates a potential boiler room. You can see it running through the warehouse several times, but when it finds the boiler room, it raids the place like a nutcase, charging into all the people in the chairs one by one, knocking them all over. People panic and jump on the desks to avoid being trampled by the angry beast. The animal goes as far as jumping over the desks and shattering a glass door. This wild pig just found out it's his wedding day, and he rushes through the door of this hair salon for a quick coiffé. But the hairstylists panic and run outside, logging the poor pig inside. People, all he wants is a clean-cut shave to impress his future bride. A guy can't even impress a female anymore. A bunch of wild boars cornered and stole the groceries of a woman who had just exited a supermarket near Rome, reigniting a controversy about the animal's presence in Italian towns and cities. The footage shows the boar chasing the woman through the parking lot of a supermarket before looting her grocery bag, which she is forced to dump. In recent years, Italian farmers have protested about wild pigs wreaking havoc on their land and causing catastrophic traffic incidents. Finally, these homeless wild boars are looking for something to eat amongst all this garbage. Maybe they'll get lucky finding something, or some nice person is going to feed them. Warthog versus lion. Warthogs are fearless and dangerous creatures that can cause significant damage to a predator. But how do they stack up against the king of the jungle? Do they stand a chance against a lion or another apex predator? Of course, the warthog isn't a moron, and he won't approach a lion and tell it to its face that it's not going to kick its buttocks, because it won't. The warthog isn't about to give up. The poor bastard is literally running for its life. The warthog's only hope is that the lioness wears out and gives up. But that isn't going to happen, and the warthog is cooked. Following that, this young male lion does not wait for the warthog to approach him. He simply invites himself over for supper and demonstrates his cooking prowess to this warthog. Wild boar versus bear. Bears will hunt wild boar, but the animal is not the first item on the bear's menu. In this clip, this bear is sharing a watering hole with a huge wild boar. The bear makes a move, but the boar runs off, only to return and drink moments later. The bear doesn't bother with the boar. I don't think the bear wanted to kill the boar. I think he just wanted the water hole to himself. Once he was done drinking, he let the boar use it. Next, this black bear is wrestling with the wild boar, and the people filming the incident honk to try to scare the bear away. But I think the bear is so focused on the boar, it doesn't even hear the horn, as the bear continues to pound the boar. However, after a few moments, the bear takes off. Finally, check out this bear attempt to snare a pig from its enclosure. Even if they hear their friend squealing like it's dying, the other pigs are unconcerned. The bear is yanking on the pig's back, ripping off some of its skin, but the pig is too heavy for the bear to lift and carry over the fence. I'm curious as to why the folks filming this don't intervene, because this isn't something that happens in the wild. This bear is savagely attacking a farm animal. Warthog versus leopard. Many leopards have been discovered with severe gashes from warthogs, and only the larger male leopards will attempt to attack an adult warthog due to the dangers involved. Warthogs are tough cookies, and they aren't simple prey to kill. But as you can see in this video, when a leopard tries to take a newborn warthog, the mother rams into it, flipping the leopard into the air. But as soon as the leopard lands, it can grab the baby and flee with it in its teeth. This leopard is running with a newborn warthog already in its mouth, but the mother chases after it and tries to run it over, flipping it into the air. However, the leopard manages to keep the young warthog in its mouth and climbs a tree, avoiding more attacks from the mother warthog. Imagine how powerful the leopard's jaws are if it was able to hold onto the baby despite the force of the crash. This leopard ambushes a warthog, but the warthog reacts fast by leaping into the air, shocking the large cat with its quickness and allowing it to flee the feline's grasp. On the African plains, a hungry leopard has spotted a warthog. The leopard ambushes and then attacks the warthog. The warthog, on the other hand, fights back and manages to flee. The leopard pursues and captures the warthog once more. But this warthog is a formidable opponent and decides to assault the leopard, allowing it to flee once more, this time near a watering hole. It dives into the water in a desperate attempt to elude the leopard. When a little crocodile emerges, the warthog retreats and leaves the water. Watch these three warthogs gang up on this leopard, and believe me when I say the leopard is not pleased. Desperate to get away from the three pugliest constant attacks, the leopard runs as quickly as it can and eventually heads for the bush, where it most likely climbs a tree to safety. The adage, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," has never been truer than in this video. When a competing leopard discovers the warthog being killed, it's the warthog's lucky day. The rival leopard fights the leopard that is killing the warthog, allowing the warthog to sneak away and escape. I must admit that wild boar and warthogs go through lots of emotions in one day, and most of the time they must run for their lives. My favorite has to be the wild pig that ran through the offices and knocked people in chairs over. Was that ever spectacular? Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below. Well, that's our countdown of 12 epic warthog and wild boar attacks caught on camera. If you enjoyed this video, Please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.